It's been a year now since Professor Alexis Jay's report into child sexual exploitation in Rotherham was published. It was a report that made shockwaves around the world and affected all of us in our town. We were affected by the horrific findings, affected by the way that people came to see Rotherham. But it's been a year. We've begun to make the changes that we need, and we are making progress. We've been listening and we are acting. Operation Cllr, which is South Yorkshire Police's lead investigation into these allegations of child sexual exploitation, has seen 16 people arrested and nearly 100 charges brought as I film this today. The National Crime Agency are examining the files seen by Professor Jay, and their work will continue for the months and years to come as we pursue justice. The Council has changed, the leadership has changed, and specifically the leadership of our Children's Services Department has changed. Our child sexual exploitation team, which works with victims, has been rebuilt, and we're working more closely than ever with our partners to deliver the services that people need and deserve. We're working with Bernardo's, funded in part by the KPMG Foundation Trust and the government, to deliver an outreach model similar to the well-regarded Risky Business service, so that the council and our partners are out there in the community preventing young people from becoming victims of CSE and working closely with them if people do become victims to guide them through services and make sure that they get the support that they need. Our taxi licensing regime will be one of the toughest anywhere in the country. We are rebuilding our council so it can't fail so badly ever again. But perhaps more importantly than any of that, we are listening to the community. I've been out meeting people right across the borough, and we're also listening to the voices of victims and survivors of child sexual exploitation and their families, so that we can deliver the services that they need now, and so we can learn from their experiences in the past to support people again today.
I think for me, one of the things, that is quite significant is it's been a very long journey since last August from Alexis Jay's report coming out, and quite a roller coaster of emotions really. As you know, I previously managed Risky Business projects, and I think one of the things I never expected and anticipated in any of this is how many of those that I worked with in the past that would come forward and ask for help. One of the things that I decided to do to try and cope with the significant numbers was to put together what I was hoping to be some really good peer groups and friendship groups and groups of people that I thought could help this town move on, because one of the things I say in all interviews is this town has been broken, but I don't think it's been smashed.
When Jay's report come out, I felt relieved that people finally believed us and that it were all out in open and everybody knew. Amount of girls that had been hurt and families, and they were finally noticing what an impact it had on families, which they never did before. We need to put it in education, training into education for children. They need to start training parents and families about CSE, because they don't always know, which I didn't. I didn't have a clue what it was. My daughter was one of 1,400, but as a family there's 10 of us that's affected, and I don't think anybody actually recognises how many people in a family it affects. There was no support at the time, no counselling support for families. But we all actually come to family therapy at Swinton Lock, and we all enjoy it and love it, and it's rebuilding us lives again. It's actually brought us closer as a family. There's definitely more support now than what we had 12 months ago. There weren't none 12 months ago, but there is now. But not enough, and hopefully they're going to start putting more in. They especially need to put some in for children, for siblings, like girls, because as a parent, you can't explain it to them as you want to. It's kind of hard. We've been helping council with the taxi licensing, which were a big thing for us. We've actually met with commissioners and spoke to commissioners, and they're actually listening to us, and we're helping them put things right. Nobody can ever change what happened to my daughter and my family, but they can learn from mistakes, what they did with my daughter and my family, and it will help them change things for the future generation.
So yeah, looking a bit past year, I think we're on the right track, but we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to understand grooming, because you can't tackle grooming until you actually know what it is.
Yeah.
And there's not just one form of grooming, is there?
No.
Everybody's got a different experience, different ways of dealing with it, thinking, feelings. So that needs to be taken into consideration.
Come forward, have your voice heard. Everybody's entitled to have the voice heard and the story heard, and they're not going to get no help till they do. And there is more help now than there were.
We're starting to see the difference made by the actions that we're taking, and we know that we have much more to do. I've been out in the community speaking to hundreds of you. Many more of you have taken part in our online consultation about how we see the future of Rotherham. We need to build on that, build on the information that you've given us to secure a vision for our community in the future. It'll be about stronger, safer, more secure communities, building a Rotherham that you can be proud of, a place where we're all proud to live, and we'll do it together.